Hello, this is Watch All About, and in this review we're looking at the Marloe Watch Co. Cherwell. I'm sure you're well aware of their success on Kickstarter at the beginning of the year. So it was priced at £129, which is very good value for money. They had a goal of £30,000 and they absolutely smashed that. They ended up getting £179,000 and 194. So obviously the Kickstarter campaign was a success, so we're very close now to all those people who pledged getting their watches, but also for the people who missed it, you can now pre-order a Marloe at the full RRP, which is £250. So obviously almost double the price, so no doubt the Kickstarter deal was a fantastic deal, which is it's a shame that you can't get it for that price anymore, but let's see if it's still a decent deal at 250 quid. Okay, so thinking about the specs then, it certainly isn't a small watch by any means. 43.4 mil in diameter. It's got a height of 12 mil and then a lug-to-lug length of 48 mil. So thinking about the size, it is obviously very large for a smart dress watch, but I personally don't mind it. I think it wears quite well. The lugs are considerably dumpy and short for the size of watch as well, so it fits surprisingly well on the wrist, so that's something you don't necessarily have to be concerned with. Height wise, 12 mil actually isn't that bad for the size of watch, so that's quite good. This strap isn't the final strap, so this is just a D-model strap, so we can ignore the strap completely, but the lug width is 20 mil, reducing down to 18 mil at the buckle. So as far as watch straps concerned, it's a decent size. It looks correct, it feels right as well. We have a double dome sapphire crystal as well, so the fact that it's double domed means that if you only have a single dome at the top, when you look at the watch at extreme angles such as that, it starts getting all distorted and you can see little lines, but because it's double domed, the dome on the underside cancels out the top dome, which means you get very, very good visibility at such extreme angles such as this. So that's nice to see on a watch costing this much. The sapphire crystal also has a level of anti-reflective coating, but it isn't out of this world. It's not unbelievable. I think with a domed crystal you're always going to get quite a lot of I've certainly found this, quite a lot of reflections anyway, so I have found reflections to still be a little bit of an issue. The watch is rated at 3 ATM, 3 atmospheres, or 30 meters for its water resistance, so not too great, mainly because it's just a push-pull screw crown. It's not screw-in or anything like that, but to be honest, this isn't the kind of watch you'd want to go swimming in anyway, so I wouldn't recommend it. So it's not really an issue. Weight-wise, it's 72 grams, so considering the size and the fact that it's got a decent heavy hand-wind movement, it's actually quite lightweight, but still feeling good quality. So that aids to the comfortable wear when you've got it on your wrist, but it's heavy enough for you to think that it feels decent quality. And then finally, specs wise, the movement, it's a seagull movement that they've decided to go for. It's purely hand wound, which is a very nice touch, and this is the ST36 movement, and it runs at 21.6 thousand beats per minute, per hour, sorry. So as you can see, we have the small seconds hand there, so that's ticking at roughly 6 ticks per second. Okay, so that's the specs. We'll just quickly go through the appearance of the watch. I might as well start with the strap, being that we've got nothing to talk about. The only thing really we can mention is the buckle here. So a standard Tang buckle, but it has the Marloe logo nice and deeply engraved on the end there. So nothing too exciting, but it's good that it's been engraved deeply, and the logo looks quite nice there as well. Suits it well. Okay, so the dial. I really like the design. It's nice to see something a bit different out there. It's quite fresh, but also being quite modern and very stylistic. So I think they've done a really good job with the logo, with the dial. I do like the logo. Very simple, but I like the font used, and it's quite modern as well. The multi-layered dial is a really cool feature as well. So this center disc is on a higher level, and then we have an inset minutes second subdial, and then this outer ring which is on a lower level as well. What I really like about the multi-layered dial is how the applied hour markers bridge between the two, so it really shows how deep they are. Really good quality, really well made and well applied as well. But this also brings me to the biggest issue I have with the dial, and that's the 12. As you can see, if you compare the 12 with the other hour markers, it's just really flat and really thin. So it just looks a bit cheap and tacky in comparison. So that's quite a disappointment. That's my one main issue, that I would have wanted to see better quality 12, because then it would have looked really good quality, the entire watch. The concentric circular pattern on the running seconds hand is really nice as well. Nice texture, which is really well done. And then we have these skeletonized Dauphine hands as well, which are a nice touch. Nice design, and legibility is perfectly fine. So all the elements on the dial are polished, so you have a nice decent bit of reflection on the watch, so catches the light well, and it looks really good quality as well. So I think they've done a really good job with the dial. We also have this texturized knobbly minute track on the outside, just like raised squares, which again is quite a unique little design feature. So I think they've done a really good job in creating something which isn't like anything else out there, which in today's world is very, very difficult. So good on Marloe for doing that. Moving on to the case, it's completely polished. I mentioned the sizing before, relatively large apart from the lug-to-lug length, so we have quite dumpy angular lugs, which means it wears quite comfortable on the wrist. I do like it when a case is quite bulbous or bulgy, where the top is larger than the bottom, because it looks impressive, but also feels quite comfortable, because the bit that's in contact with your wrist is the equivalent to maybe a 40mm or 41, 42mm watch. So on the wrist it feels a lot more comfortable. All of the machining is very well done. I like the way that we've barely got any bezel at all, which meeting the domed crystal, and then this angled rehout inside, so you get really good visibility of the dial, and the dial does pretty much all of the talking. Another key highlight I found is the crown. It's got this really cool knurled grip, really good for winding and gripping, and then you can pull it out. Using it feels really, really good quality. So obviously that's mainly part to the movement being really sturdy, but it just feels really good in the wrist. So sometimes you get the feeling when you're winding a watch or setting the time that the movement's a little bit wobbly, or it feels like if you're too rough with it, it could literally fall out into your hand. Not so with this. It's really well put together and really solid and dependable, so that's good. On the end of the crown we have the M from the logo really deeply engraved as well, so that's a really nice touch. Moving on to the case back, I believe it's a mineral crystal rather than a sapphire crystal, but you get a pretty good view of the ST36 movement, which as far as affordable movements go, it's actually pretty good looking when you compare it to the Miyotas. They're all very industrial, get the job done, pretty ugly. So this has a variety of nice little finishes to the bridges, patterns to various aspects, and the cogs are all quite nice as well. So I think they've chosen well. It's a clone to the ETA. What is it? The ETA version hand wind 6497. That's the one, which you find in many Panerais and similar movements, similar watches to them. So it's going to be a very hard-working movement that's going to last for a long time. So just don't forget to wind it every 2 days, because obviously it's not automatic, so you literally have to wind it. Otherwise it will stop. So you get about 50-hour power reserve apparently with it. We also have a little bit of a detailing around the outside. So it says the future is something which everyone reaches at the rate of 60 minutes an hour, which is a nice little quote talking about time there. And then Marloe Watch Co. Within the just etched on the underside, I don't know if you can see it, we have quite hard to read detailing. So let me try and read it. It says designed in Great Britain, hand wound movement ST3621. OG1GF, not sure what that means. Cherwell, first edition. So very hard to read, but there you go. I guess it's not particularly meant to be read. Okay, so that's the watch discussed. Oh, let me just get my macro lens on, and we can have a look at it in even closer detail. Okay, just give it a quick wipe. So starting with the dial, here's the concentric circular pattern on the running second hand and the flat second hand as well. And then we can move up here to the printing of the dial, pretty fine and nicely done. So let's just look at these Dauphine hands with the skeletonized center. Again, highly polished and nicely put together, nicely made. And we can see the multi-layered aspect just here. So this center disc, and we also have these cool little nobules for this minute track. So this is the applied hour markers. You can see they're quite nice and deep, good quality. And then we come to the 1 and 2, which just don't seem to be quite on the same level of quality, a little bit thin, which is a shame. There we go. So the printing on hand wound at the bottom is nice and fine as well. Okay, so just giving it a quick wipe, we can have a look at the case. Obviously fully polished, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to get decent focus on it. But all the angles seem to be very, defined, very nicely done. Look at the crown quickly. So I really like the crown, really nice design and nicely made as well. Just pull out and see the nice and thick bit under there as well. Push it back in. And then finally just the case back. So that's the detailing around the outside. And then here's the movement. I'll just give the quick wipe. It's ticking away. Looking quite nice and neat actually, not too grubby or anything like that. And then finally we just have the buckle here with the Marloe engraved on the end of it. There we go. So finishing wise, it's all pretty good. Pretty good considering we're looking at it in quite close scrutiny. So for £250, obviously £130 is a lot better. I think for that price it is a simply outrageous value for money. £250, I think it's still displaying very good value for money. If you're looking for a non-Chinese, made, it's Chinese made obviously, but from a UK-based company, which you don't see too many of. For this kind of specs and this kind of build quality, I think £250 is perfectly reasonable, and I think they've got the pricing just right, and I'm fairly certain they're going to sell quite a lot of these. So it's very well made. The design is great. I love the way it's so unique as well. It's very different to anything else out there. I love the fact that it's hand wind only as well. They've done a good choice in that, very traditional. And everything's just really well put together and designed. So well done to Marloe Watch Co for their first watch, the Cherwell, so this was that very watch, and that's what it's all about.